on, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Ryan. We've linked up with Paul again today, and we're back at it. This is round 2 for the kind of brake swapsy project. So give them the rundown, because if you haven't seen the first video, I'll make sure to link that down below, because we tackled the front brake swap last go around. But yeah, give them the rundown, why we're doing it, what we're trying to accomplish, the whole gamut. What are we doing today?
All right, so the Bullitt is going to be basically the only Mustang I have at this point. I'm going to go ahead and unfortunately pass the Dark Horse along to someone else, have them enjoy it. So the Dark Horse has some parts on it that I don't want to part with, that will do
some really good parts.
Yeah, some really good parts that will do some great work on the Bullitt. The rims on there, they're 19-inch GT500 wheels off of a 2010 to maybe a 2012, I believe. And the Brembo 6 pistons brake setup, and also the enlarged rear brake setup that I went ahead and did the swap on 2-ish years ago, maybe 3 years ago.
Which we can link that video. We did film and did a little better job of like documenting that, like step by step. So we'll link that also down below.
Yeah, so this will go, but I need it to stop.
Yep, absolutely. So yeah, like I said, it's got really good parts on it. So it's got the supercharger, he's got it cammed, all kinds of good stuff, but the Brembos are gonna take it to the next level. So yeah, last video we got the fronts done, so we're gonna tackle the rears today. So we're swapping from your 08 just base model GT to the 08 Bullitt. Yep, that's what we're getting into. Step 1 complete. So we've got both cars jacked up. So on the OG Dark Horse, we've got it fully up both sides, like jacked in the middle of the pumpkin, so that way we can access both tires. For the Bullitt on the lift, he's just gonna do it one by one. So kind of the game plan is I'm going to disassemble everything. We're gonna be doing it simultaneous. So Paul is going to be disassembling the best he can. On the Bullitt, he's got the infinitely harder job because it was a whole lot more difficult to break everything loose on the Bullitt than it was on the Dark Horse, just because he did these brakes not too long ago on the Dark Horse. So everything is a little more fresh, been on and off before, so best of luck to Paul. But yeah, we're gonna do it simultaneous, so we'll see who can finish first. At this point, we have both rear disassembled. So yeah, like I said, we were kind of doing it simultaneous and kind of made it competitive racing, but I had the upper hand from the get-go just because, again, the OG Dark Horse, we did the brakes not long ago, so nothing was quite stuck like Paul ran into. So yeah,
I used some unconventional tools.
But they're both done, so now the fun part is actually making the swap. So Bullitt parts onto the OG parts, the better parts onto the Bullitt. And again, some of the reasoning behind this is, so we've got our stock rotor over here versus the upgraded one here. So this is the little far superior, it's slotted, bigger rotating mass, it should stop more effectively. Not only is Paul gaining the advantage of larger brakes all around, but you could tell, so the right is going to be the new setup, wheel and tire setup. These are much wider than what was previously on the car. So huge plus, especially for traction. Paul made out pretty well on his end. He ended up, I had to undo some things, redo some things, so I made some mental mistakes, but got the OG Dark Horse, got that one buttoned up, and then we're just wrapping up. Paul's gonna throw the wheel and tire back on the Bullitt, so then we should have one side completely finished. So we're 3/4 the way there at this point. So we got the two front out and knocked out in the last video, and then one half of the rear done so far. This is the clip that Paul and I both were fighting, so Paul had to end up doing it on the OG Dark Horse, but that one wasn't quite as bad, but still fought us a little bit. But then yeah, this little guy back here, it's just a little, almost like a little pronged clip that deals with your e-brake and holds it in place, but it's just, that was a pain in the butt. It took forever. Probably spent a solid 30 minutes per car messing with both of those. So if it wasn't for that, it'd be pretty easy. These rear calipers, just like the front, look so much better. Much improved over the stock stuff. One side is officially done, and it looks amazing. Like, I can't get over how well these wheels complement, like they just go with this paint color and everything. I mean, like they just complement the car so well. It's meant to be, oddly enough, but it looks sick. And the track width on these, because they're 285s on the rear versus I think he had like 235s or something crazy. So should I be able to put the power down a whole lot easier, and it fills up the wheel well. It just looks so much better. Like I'm in awe of how well this turned out. Here's a little side by side of the two wheels, and maybe that's why it works so good, because we were kind of comparing the color, and looks like the Bullitt is just a shade or two darker than the SVT wheels on the right. I don't know, but for whatever reason, like we were saying, like they just complement each car perfectly. So just to give you an idea of the sidewall difference and just the diameter difference, that kind of thing, but it works. We're gonna go from old stinky stock stuff to brand new. Paul worked his magic, got the rear end all upgraded, so that looks way better. And just like Paul worked his magic with his on the Dark Horse, we're going to go from, fortunately reverse on this one, we're gonna go from beautiful, nice upgraded rotors to stock. A little bit sad, but again, this car's gotta go, so as close to originally factory stock as possible. So now that the Bullitt is all buttoned up, the last thing to do, and we're not gonna bore you with that because that just revolves around a lot of pumping and bleeding and such, but we got to fill the system back with brake fluid, and then we'll be streetable. But yeah, Bullitt should be pretty much done. We're gonna wrap that up and then wrap this whole project up. Unfortunately, with the Dark Horse, from last video when we were messing with the fronts, we stripped the hard line, so that one is kind of bricked, unfortunately. So we can at least give you a walk around and show you how good the wheels look. And sadly, yes, back on stock brakes, but we knew that was coming. But it does look good on the Bullitt wheels. But yeah, unfortunately that car is just a paperweight and looks pretty in the driveway. Again, we're gonna wrap up here. Kind of life happens, so you know, a little bit of chaos always. But yeah, we didn't quite finish the Bullitt, so we got one side bled, and then yeah, got distracted with another project. But yeah, we're gonna stop here. But the car looks amazing, so that's one thing we accomplished, was neither car is actually functional at the moment, but they look good, so that matters for a lot, I guess. I don't know. That's all we can say for this one, but I really appreciate everybody watching. If you haven't already, smash that subscribe button. It does help out. We'll catch y'all in the next one.